guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the sixth and final quest of Act 7.4, and in this video I will be taking down the superiority path. So this path has superiority, and we get superiority if we are facing the defender with a class disadvantage. Apart from that, there is a swing and a miss node which will inflict us with a falter debuff at a certain amount of time, and if during the expiration time if you are far away from the defender, then the defender instead will be inflicted with this falter debuff. Apart from that, there is also mutant ascendancy node which will give I think it is actually Mystic Ascendancy node, which will give Mystic and Science champions attack boost. So on this path, Kabam actually wants us to face all these defenders with class disadvantage and make advantage of the superiority node in order to just have an easier time against these defenders. But since this path is easy enough, so my main focus will be to take a team that will be able to perform well against the final Kang boss. That's why I'm just going to completely ignore the superiority nodes, and I will be just bringing a team which will do better against the final Kang boss. My main attacker on this path will be Wolverine, so that's why I've brought Apocalypse, and I will be making my Wolverine a horseman at the very end. So right now I'm just facing the Spider-Man, who is obviously a very annoying defender because of his evade, but slowly but surely Apocalypse is getting this Spider-Man in his stride. He already has 50% decreased ability accuracy on his evade. So yeah, this fight is just going down quickly, and Spider-Man is down. Next up we have a Hit Monkey. So pretty much all the defenders on this path have some kind of evade mechanism, and combined with the node which places falter debuff on us, so you can imagine that this path can be a bit annoying. But with good champs like Nick Fury and Apocalypse, this whole path can be easily handled by these two attackers alone. Now Hit Monkey gains his evade mechanism whenever we knock him down, so in this fight I will be avoiding knocking down Hit Monkey. And whenever you stay far away while this falter node is just going to hit, then the defender instead will be inflicted with falter debuff, so that's also another thing to keep an eye on. On this occasion I was close to Hit Monkey, that's why I got inflicted with falter. But yes, even if you get inflicted by the falter debuff, you can just wait out for it to expire before going in and start hitting. Now Hit Monkey is inflicted with falter, and every time you make the defenders miss while they have falter debuff, then you will also gain these furies. And if you have superiority, then these furies will also be permanent. But since I'm not going to be making use of the superiority node, so that will not come into play on this path. Next up we have Immortal Hulk, and this is also going to be a very easy fight with Nick Fury. For the final Kang boss, you ideally need champions that have lots of buffs and debuffs, ideally damaging debuffs. So Ultron is usually a very good option for the Kang fight once you have placed the ordinary fights on him, because he has lots of debuffs, bleed debuffs on his own, and combined with his armor buffs and the ordinary fight buffs, he can just make quick work of that Kang fight. But I only have a 5-star maxed out Ultron, which should be enough. But when I first took this quest, it was actually very hard for me to just take down Kang with Ultron, because the Ultron's auto evade messed me up many times, and I just didn't get the hang of that fight completely with Ultron. So that's why I am not going to be using Ultron again as a main attacker for Kang, and instead I will be using Horseman Wolverine with ordinary fights. If you don't prefer Ultron for this Kang fight, then you can also try using this Horseman Wolverine with ordinary fights. And if you don't have Wolverine with you, then you can use someone like Venom, because Venom also has lots of buffs and he also has lots of bleed debuffs as well, so he's also a very good option for that final Kang fight. You don't necessarily need champs with lots of buffs, because ordinary fights can do the trick for you, but champs that have lots of debuffs are essential for that fight. Next up we have this stealth suit Spider-Man, and he's going to be a bit annoying because of his evade mechanism, and also he's just very difficult to parry. The main advice that I can give you for this path is that Nick Fury can easily solo this entire path. You don't need any other attacker, or you don't even need to make use of the superiority node. You can just fill up the rest of your team with champs that you are going to be utilizing against the Kang, and try to bring a strong main attacker and build a team around him, synergize him properly. Like in this case, I am going to synergize my Wolverine properly, and also manage to make him a horseman with Apocalypse. Finally, the Spider-Man is down. Next up we have Wasp, and against this Wasp I'm again going to use Nick Fury. It's going to be a very easy fight with Nick Fury again. Nick Fury is such a great champion. I mean, I've been using him pretty much on every single quest and every single path. He can just handle so many champions and so many fights on his own. And even if he's not fighting, he's still going to give a 10% attack boost to all hero champs when he's alive, and a 20% additional attack boost whenever he's dead to the hero champ. So he's just a must-have champion in your roster and in your team. Now here I was in a bit of trouble because Wasp wasn't throwing her special, and I just had to go for the kill, and luckily she didn't activate her special 3. Another node which is present on this path which I forgot to mention is the supercharge node, which also gives defenders some power gain, so keep an eye out for that as well. Next up we have Massacre. And again I'm going to use Nick Fury. Now that Nick Fury is in his real phase, this fight should be over very soon. And Massacre is down as well. So that was actually the final fight on this path. Before facing Kang, I'm going to swap in Odin because of his pre-fight abilities. And I'm going to take out Cable because his job is done. Now Odin on his own is also a very good option for Kang in his phase 1 and 3, where our damage is boosted if we have lots of buffs. So Odin is also a very good option, and you must bring him at least for his pre-fights, and you can also use him as an attacker in phases 1 and 3 as well. So the way this fight goes is that for phase 1 you need your attacker to have lots of buffs in order to do good damage once this Kang is wounded, and for phase 2 you need lots of debuffs, and for phase 3 you need lots of unique buffs, and for the final and fourth phase you need to inflict lots of damaging debuffs. And Wolverine has them all with Odin pre-fights. So now let's talk a bit about this Kang fight. What it does is that the main thing that you need to always keep an eye on is the counter attack that Kang bans. And right now he has banned this, I think it's intercept symbol, so if I try to intercept him again, then I will get parry stun and he will punish me big time. And since I parried him, so he was able to ban my stun, and now he has banned my heavy attack, so Just keep an eye on that symbol which signifies the ban counter attack, and try at your very best to not repeat the ban counter attack. You have to either evade or parry the strike once Kang throws his counter attack in order to gain these super stream charges, and once these super stream charges get to 10, then Kang will get wounded. So here I am not just doing a very great job of creating distance against Kang, and I have eaten a lot of damage at this point, but now you can see that Wolverine will be able to heal himself all the way up to maximum health once I get going. That's why Wolverine is such a good option for this fight, because with Wolverine there are lots of room for errors. Yeah, that was a solid 70% damage in one go. Now I need to build up my super stream charges again. I never really got the hang of evading Kang's special attack properly, so what I did in the rest of my runs against Kang is that I just blocked the whole special, at least the first two hits, and then evaded the second and evaded the third and fourth strikes. Once you understand this fight, this is fairly straightforward and simple. And Wolverine is dead. So that was all my mistakes which costed me. Another important thing to keep in mind is that in this Kang fight, our super stream charges also persist between different attackers. So for example, I died with Wolverine at 9 of those super stream charges, so whichever attacker I would use next would also gain those. Actually I had 8 super stream charges, so Odin also started with 8 super stream charges, and now Kang is wounded. You can see Odin has a lots of buffs on him, so that's why he's able to do some really good damage. And the first phase of Kang should be over after this special 3. In the 7.3 Kang fight, this didn't used to be the case, because the super stream charges or time stream charges, whatever they were called for 7.3 Kang, they only used to persist for the same attacker, and they didn't carry over to the next different attacker. But in this case, I think it's a very good change by Kabam, and we can pretty much use any other champion, and all the super stream charges that we were able to build with the previous champ will carry over to the next champ as well. So yeah, now I need a champion that has lots of debuffs. Odin doesn't have any debuffs, so he's not going to be a good option for the Kang when he is wounded. But even if your attacker is not going to be a good option for a particular phase, what you can do is build up the super stream charges up to 9 and then just quit out the fight, and then just bring in your main attacker that is good against Kang in that particular fight, and you should be able to just take him to the wounded state fairly quickly and able to take him down. Next up, I'm going to take Nick Fury, and he's going to be a good option for Kang in this phase. But the important thing is to just be able to take this Kang to the wounded state first. So right now I have 4 super stream charges carried from the previous 5. Now they are 5. Now my parry is banned, so I cannot repeat parry. Now my intercept is banned. Also in this fight, you can see Kang is placing lots of debuffs on us. So you may think that willpower could be a real asset in this fight, but uh, willpower and despair masteries don't work in this fight, so these debuffs are not going to do us any good. So yes, with Nick Fury I wasn't able to take this Kang down to the wounded state. This fight is all about practice, and once you do a few runs against this Kang, then you will get better and better against him and find yourself at more ease while fighting him. My first few runs did cost me a few items, but the last of my few runs almost went itemless. So yes, this is all about practice. Right now I have 8 super stream charges and now 9. I just need one more super stream charge to take. And now we can see some good damage. And I was able to take down Kang to 43% in one go, which is not that bad. I will need to take Kang once again to his wounded phase for this phase to be over. It also takes a bit of practice to get familiarized with the timing on the beams that he throws, all the slow motion, regular and super fast forward speed. That was also a decent run, and I was able to build up 8 super stream charges. Now I'm going to revive Wolverine. I only need to use 20% revive because I should be able to take Kang to his wounded phase fairly quickly, and then I should be able to heal a lot of missing health. And Kang is wounded, so let's see some big damage. Now that I have a few critical bleeds, Kang is really ticking down hard. So now his second phase is done as well, and now he is in his third phase where we need unique buffs to do more damage while he's in wounded phase. And in phase 3 you can notice that he will be able to ban 2 of our attacks. So right now he only had banned my stun, and now he also banned my intercept attack. So once he is able to ban 2 of your attacks, you can only use either of the other 2 remaining attacks that is not banned. By the way, there are only 4 attacks that you can do. One is just parry and attack, other one is just baiting a heavy and then attack, the third one is to intercept and attack, and the last one is to punish the Kang once he throws his special attack. And Kang is wounded again as well. And you can also notice that I'm taking a lot of punishment and lot of debuff damage, but Wolverine is just able to heal a lot of the missing health. And with that, in a single go I was able to take this Kang down to 21%, which is really good. So at this time I just mistakenly punished Kang while he was parried, and since my parry was banned, so he was able to punish me back. And Kang is wounded again, and this time I should be able to knock him out. And now he's going to his fourth and final phase where we need lots of damaging debuffs to do more and more damage once he is wounded. But again, I took a lot of punishment, and with the regeneration I am able to heal up back to full health, which is really the best thing about Wolverine. just failed to failed to avoid repeating intercepts, and I just got punished for it because my intercept and stun was banned, which were the attacks that I repeated and resulted in Wolverine's death. So I have gone again with Apocalypse this time, and Apocalypse is not going to be a good option for this final phase because he doesn't have that many damaging debuffs. I should be able to take him down to wounded phase after getting one more super stream charge. But really what I should have done here was to just quit the fight at 9 super stream charges and come back again with Wolverine and finish this down. But I thought that Apocalypse would be able to put in some good damage, but he wasn't able to do so. I'm barely doing any damage because I don't have that many damaging debuffs, and Apocalypse damages debuffs don't do that much damage. He's known more for his special attack damage. Yeah, that was more of a waste of all the super stream charges that were built. But either way, I have learned a valuable lesson that if the attacker that you are using is not good against Kang for a particular phase, then just build up the super stream charges and quit out the fight once you have 9 super stream charges and bring in your main attacker. And this is exactly what I'm going to do this time. I'm just building up as many super stream charges as possible before dying. So now that I had 9 super stream charges, I'm not going to make the same mistake again of taking Kang into the wounded phase with Apocalypse again, and I'm just going to revive Wolverine because he has lots of bleeds and they are going to do lots of damage on this Kang. Now that I have 10 super stream charges, I should be able to take him down to the wounded phase once I am able to bait his heavy attack. And you can see Kang is absolutely melting down extremely fast. Wolverine should be able to get this Kang down in a single wounded phase. So yeah, that's going to be it from my side on this video, and I will see you guys soon in the next video as well.